Have you ever talked to a production designer or an art director? I mean, they're basically the unsung heroes of every movie or TV production. So let's talk to a couple. Hey, it's Ryan Barton-Grimley. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. Hit that subscribe button either way. So I've got a very special treat today. We are going to talk to Audrey Haworth, the production designer, and David Rickabaugh, the art director of HAWK+REV Vampire Slayers. These folks were responsible for the look of the film. I mean, you can have a great DP, you can have an amazing camera package, but if what they're shooting is not great, it's gonna be terrible. So let me tell you something. These folks were in charge of wardrobe, makeup, special effects, including blood and gore. That's gonna be really fun to talk about. And they did all the other stuff like the set design and all that other crazy stuff. Well, without further ado, here's Audrey Haworth, production designer, and David Rickabaugh, art director of HAWK+REV Vampire Slayers. Hey, it's Ryan Barton-Grimley. I have a special treat for you guys today. I have the production designer, Audrey Haworth, and the art director, David Rickabaugh of HAWK+REV Vampire Slayers here. I was very excited to have them come on camera because they actually do go on camera in all of the films I make, but it's never playing themselves or talking about what they've actually contributed to the movie that's in front of the camera other than their performances. And it's so much. They contribute in such a massive artistic and creative way. And I really wanted to kind of highlight that and also have them talk about the kind of ins and outs and the nitty gritty of what they did to create this massive, bold, quirky look on HAWK+REV Vampire Slayers that incorporates comedy and horror.
Hi, I'm Audrey Haworth. I am the production designer and how many other departments? I don't know. I've lost track.
You played a nun.
I did. And not the naughty nun this time. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, production designer, wardrobe, makeup. I mean, that's what the beautiful thing is that we sort of swapped off hats. You told me what your vision was and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and then of course on this film, practical effects. Audrey, can you cut a guy's head off? I'm sure I can figure it out.
Did you make a guy's leg have more blood than is humanly possible for 100 male legs?
Copious amounts of blood. Yes, I can, and I will enjoy the hell out of it.
I'm David Rickabaugh, and I was the art director and actor in the film as well. Mainly, my job is to keep this one in line and organized. Yeah,
and me too, dude. To be fair.
Yeah, I got to wrangle the actors as well.
Yeah,
Slap them a little bit. You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm her right-hand man, figuring things out with her and figuring out how to do things and then implementing them on set.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
You guys are like the yin and the yang, man.
Truthfully, we actually work really well together. I mean, granted, every now and then we're at each other's throats, you know, but not really as much as you would think.
Luckily, I played a character where I could be blustery and be like, no, I was in character as Hawk.
I've been through it, and a lot of people, being that, you know, I really do have to kind of juggle so many departments. It's bananas. So, you know, when I'm juggling a bunch of stuff, I just lose my shit every once in a while and just trying to, and then he pulls all 16 of me back together. It's pretty amazing. I can, because he's known me for so long, I can literally grunt in some other language, and he's like, yep, I got it, and he's off and he's back with what I need. It is a yin to my yang. I'm bananas and I'm all full of ideas and I tackle anything. My favorite thing is, oh shit, we got 5 minutes of daylight left. We got to do this and we don't know how. And I'm like, on it, I'll figure it out. And then in 5 minutes, I've rigged some MacGyver crazy shit and we get it done. But without this one keeping me focused and organized with all the things that I've got to do, and then also really coming up ingenious ideas that fit in when I need them, it'd be a bitch to manage without this guy, seriously.
I'm pretty sure I thought I heard you guys speak to each other, but I think you guys just shared a look,
that
and then you guys knew exactly what each other was saying. I was like, holy shit, are they telepathic?
A little bit. We can't make a lot of noise on set, right? So sometimes it's just about my eyebrows and the direction and glance. Yeah.
So So we worked together on Elijah's Ashes, which was a small dramedy, really.
Yeah.
Like a lot of locations. Yeah, tons of stuff to do, but nothing on this level feature-wise.
Right. Most of it was really practical and sort of just emphasizing the mood of what we want in that space. This is definitely a whole other level. Yeah, for sure.
What did you think the first time you read the script? Because it had been, you know, many drafts before as more of a serious movie with like a whole domestic terrorist angle and stuff. I mean, it probably would have been a good movie, but not as fun to make or watch. I kind of saw the world when I put like the headband on the first time. I remember sending you a bunch of different links for headbands. And it's like sort of a Karate Kid headband, but sort of a ripoff. I remember you going, no, it's that simple one is the one. It came like in one day and I put it on my head, took a selfie of it pretending to be Hawk. Oh shit, that's the movie right there. That's crazy.
I wasn't entirely sure was really gonna feel like. And then once I saw you and Ari in your full getup and you just embodied it in such an awesome way. And once I saw that, everything clicked and made sense to me, gave me even more purpose, direction. Like I said, when I read it the first time in Current Manifestation, I laughed my freaking ass off. I just knew it was going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of blood and a lot of fun.
Well, it was weird because like a lot of the locations are totally transformed. A lot of those were blank spaces.
Dirty, nasty.
Yeah. You guys were able to figure out how to balance the reality of the locations that our campy dumbasses were in with the campiness of the world. So it kind of pulled us down and made it more believable that we existed in there. But if it had been too believable, it would have just looked like these two people sticking out like sore thumbs. So it's a really interesting balance. And my hat goes off to you. I don't know how the hell you did that, honestly. And I saw it on camera, but I wasn't sure.
I wasn't either. I mean, like they say, everybody just, I tend to pull rabbits out of my ass. And it's one of those things.
What if I just had a rabbit?
I probably would have had to set that up for you. But
yeah, that's right. Earlier today, David would have texted me and he would have said, Audrey's going to come by at this time with a rabbit. And what you're going to do is put it right by your chair. It's going to be on the right side of your chair. You're going to grab it with your right hand. And then Audrey would come by and drop it off. I'd be like, grab it with your right hand. Remember what he said.
And don't take your gloves off.
So there are gloves in the movie. Hawk wears gloves when he's in like his fighting getup. These are like these fingerless gloves. And they were the bane of David and Audrey's existence. Well, for one, they started like falling apart. So that was also because they got soaked in blood. I was taking them off and putting them on. And I wasn't even aware. I was behind camera, behind Sean's shoulder, like biting my fingernails, giving direction, taking a glove off. Oh, God. I'm sorry. All right, let's talk about the gore, seriously. The video on the HAWK+REV YouTube channel of me holding the leg, spraying myself in the face. There's also one of you guys blasting this wall in the woods, nitty-gritty gore stuff that legit horror people love. Blood, 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 blood.
We had to develop our own type of blood that we could spray on you guys in such amounts, and it could get in your eyes and your mouth and in your nose. And it wasn't these bloods that you can buy cheaply from like Party City that have like detergents in them.
I remember my lips, my eyelids were tingling. I was like, this feels weird.
We had to make our own blood
from scratch
and make it so that you could get it in your mouth and your eyes and your nose, and it wasn't going to hurt you in any.
Yeah.
It was essentially edible.
Dare I say delicious.
That, and then there was the issue of the fact that we were working in very cold conditions in the very end scenes there in that location.
25 degrees.
Yes, it was chilly. So that was something that we had to take into consideration too, and that's why I heated up those water fire extinguishers in my car with the heater. I had the heater blasting in my car and warming them up so that when we hit you with that stuff, it would actually be warm.
Well, I remember looking over at, I think, Marcos, the sound guy, and he was wearing this full mask. This is pre-COVID for skiing or something. And he had ice crystals on the front. And there I was like sweating, steaming from just running around and having all this blood on me. I remember Ari and Jana pretty quickly turned to like blood taffy on them because they weren't running around like a mad person like me.
We basically had to invent a blood that could soak into your fabric, and actually it became a sealant in a weird way that kept you guys warm, like a bodysuit, like a wetsuit.
Yeah, when we had to go back to the location,
Right.
but we couldn't use that initial blood that we were using.
For a certain reason.
Yeah.
We should talk about that. My genius producer capacity. Got an amazing permit to shoot outside in the state of California National Park. It was 100% permitted, and we sprayed so much blood all over the place. But this stuff was technically biodegradable, actually a food product. It's
No
not going to kill any animals or do anything weird to any plants. We actually washed it down pretty well when we left. For indie film crew, we did a damn good job. I think that was probably a Friday night, maybe midday Saturday. I started to get calls from the representative from the state of California who was managing the location. And he was like, what is the deal with everything being dyed pink? And I was like, oh, that might be a little of the residual stage blood, but it's biodegradable. It's just going to go away in a couple days. He's like, so here's the deal. There's like this hiking group and they're super influential and they're part of the NRDC and all these intense environmental groups. And that's a protected wilderness area. I'm like, you gave us a permit to shoot a horror comedy movie and spray blood where there's a protected environmental stuff. And he was like, you never said you were going to spray blood. And I was like, I absolutely did, dude. And you can see it. We are going to spray 25 gallons of biodegradable blood. And he's like, okay, well, here's the thing. You'll never be able to go back there unless somehow that gets washed off. So I spent a couple hours one night washing it all off, and it was good enough for them to let us back, but they had a person stay there the whole time and watch us like a hawk for every additional day, and we could not spray any blood at all. Audrey and David literally had to put blood makeup on us on a plastic sheet that was then folded up and put away, and a guy walked around with a magnifying glass and a flashlight.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you guys had to replicate that look of us looking like we had been completely sprayed with blood.
Yeah.
Without any of it dropping on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
First of all, we called a bunch of different FX places that deal with blood and all that stuff. And we kept asking them, oh, what blood do you have that will dry but still look wet? Oh, wait, we got this. We swear it'll work. And then every single one that we tried didn't do it. And we only had a few days to like figure this out until we had to shoot again. But we came up with a substance that we were able to essentially paint on all of your wardrobe. It looked like wet blood.
And it moved with
still-
you. It was something that was stayed on, flexible, kept its color, stayed true, and the pattern was the same. We didn't have to keep watching and then replicating. It actually made our job easier in the end because we could literally just keep your outfits the same. It was even washable and it wouldn't come off. And it actually really worked. It looked right on camera. It kept
I think it looks better on camera. Because like there are only a couple shots where we're actually soaked in just the blood that are still in the movie, and you'll never be able to tell.
I think watching the cut, I was trying to look for it.
hard.
Yeah.
Literally was trying my best to try and figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out. So then I was like, okay, then no one's going to notice. That's
I mean, I can tell, and I prefer the ones that you guys came up with because it just has like a slightly sparkly quality, and it doesn't look flabby. It looked full, and it just looked better. It actually looked like it got soaked up with blood.
We actually toyed around with the idea of starting a FX company called Demented Kitty, but yeah, Demented Kitty FX. Okay, as a side note, I'm type 1 diabetic. This was a different film, but actually Ryan let me test my blood sugar, and I smeared my blood and a bunch of our test samples on his wall.
Yeah, for listen carefully.
To
Yeah.
actually check the color temperature and which beaded up the right way. I wanted to emulate actual blood.
There is a weird quality to real blood when it's smeared on something that just makes you cringe. It's got to be right, and humans just innately know it, and there's something so incredibly bone-chilling about it.
Light opacity, mostly water, so it beads up, and it depends on the surface. If you've got an absorbent surface versus a really slick surface, it's going to react completely differently. But then there's also a fine line in terms of if it beads up too much, you don't get the camera read. It's fun.
But I mean, this is a thing that you guys really excel at. You're able to recreate objects. I mean, you guys have molded all these things and done all this stuff with latex, but you're able to recreate reality and then stylize it slightly to where it's hyper real and slightly better. There you are, you're filming and you have the most amazing camera and the most amazing actors in front of it and great lighting. And if it's not really properly dressed, really dialed in and fits the world and is then got that extra level of thought, it's just, it doesn't feel right. You guys knocked that out of the park.
Thank you.
So what you're saying is with Demented Kitty, people could email you, I'm assuming, hey, I have this project, I need some gore, I need this stuff. You're LA based, but for the right price.
Yeah, it's custom. Everything's custom.
Yeah.
It depends on what you need. We love really meaty projects that just have good heart behind them and a lot of fun, and we always want to help.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Let's actually watch this movie together in person at some point.
Right?
Right?
Seriously, though.
Oh.
Well, that was kind of an incredible interview. These are the kinds of talented people that you've got to have on a movie for it to have any hope at all. These people really made me look good, guys, and I'm so thankful for them. I look forward to collaborating with them on every production I get to work on. All right, thanks again so much for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who may appreciate it. And if you haven't gotten a chance to pre-order HAWK+REV on iTunes yet, get on that, man. If we have 250 pre-orders, we're gonna be in the top 25 of horror worldwide on iTunes. That seems like a very achievable goal. Well, thanks again so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the future.